Um, I remember one time when I was playing football. We played an Argentinian team, and this was just in the hotel. There's just obviously you recognise some of the words that they call black people. So I'm just giving us all that in the hotel. It was just couldn't believe it. I was only young at the time. I was only like 13, something like that. So it was a bit of a shock to myself.
Was that the first time you did
That's the first time I really remember like a standout thing. I don't really remember anything else as I was growing up.
My sister's adopted a black young lad from South Africa, and his friend in school was the kid came up to him and said, "I'd hate you because you're black, and because you're foreign." What would your advice be to that young person who's getting that in the school?
I don't know. You just got to think people like that. You know, they're not very well educated, or people have brainwashed them, sort of kind of thing. Because if he's a young lad, then it's not through his own experiences. It's through somebody else that's giving him them kind of messages. So you've got to. It's obviously it's very difficult for the young lad, but you know, you just got to ignore them kind of things. Obviously not. Don't retaliate in any kind of way, but you know, tell your teachers or whatever. Make sure that people know about what he said or what he's doing to you, but don't rise to the bait. You know, just keep cool and just don't associate yourself with people like that.
Going back to your example when you were 15, how did you deal with it in terms of that particular incident?
In that particular incident, we had to play them later that day. So you know, we played them that day and we battered them. So it was, you know, we were all celebrating and buzzing. We were beaten, and it was weird because after the game they were all coming up shaking his hands. I was saying, "No, well played," and that. So it was like it just was forgot about for them. So it was a strange feeling, but you know, I felt better in myself, and you know, some of the black lads that were playing, that would beat them.
Did you talk about it with the other lads in the team?
Yeah, well, it wasn't just me. It was like a few, because there was a few black lads in my team at the time. So it was a few of us that there was saying stuff to.
Where were you? Were you brought up in Huddersfield? Or?
Yeah, Huddersfield.
I do all my research. One of the issues of growing racism in England is Islamophobia. You know, the hatred towards Muslims.
Yeah.
Have you ever come across that kind of racism? Like, you know.
No, I've not really seen it, to be honest. But you know, again, that's things that people read in the press and stuff like that, in the newspapers. You know, because of the terror attacks and stuff like that, they think that every Muslim's out to get them, which is not the case. I went to school with loads of Muslim lads and Sikh lads and stuff like that. So it's they've had a bad picture painted of them, really, and I think that's the case in most cases of racism.
Great. And what about if you played with any Muslim players?
Only at school, just like in the park, stuff like that. Never, not. Well, yeah, actually, yeah, I played a few Muslim players. Like, what's his name? Huh? John Mensah was here. He's Muslim. Elma's Muslim, yeah. El Mohammadi. Yeah, I played with a few Muslim.
Have you ever talked to them about the religion or anything?
No, not really.
You're not religious yourself, or?
I'm not. I wouldn't say I was a proper religious person, but you know, I respect their religion. You know, that's what they're into, so that's good for them.
Nice one. Have you ever heard anybody else being racist to somebody else in terms of it?
Well, people would be racist towards me and stuff like that, I told you earlier in that example, but I've never, not that I remember, like in the street or anything like that. It's just, yeah, people say like things you said about the terrorist attacks, stuff like that, but you know, I always say, nah, it's out of order, that you can't really say, can't generalise everyone in the same bracket, which, you know, sadly people do.
Why do you think some people are racist, and what do you think makes a person a racist?
Well, I don't know. I think maybe from the parents or stuff like that, maybe their parents, because you know, times have changed a lot. It's a lot better now than it used to be. It's not, racism not completely dead, but you know, a long time ago it used to be a lot worse. So I think maybe it's just the ideals passed down from generation to generation, and you know, certain areas where people live, like where I lived when I grew up, there was black people, white people, Chinese people, Asian people, so it was all a mixed culture. But you know, some people might grow up in a whole black area or a whole white area, a whole Asian area. Maybe that causes a bit of difference. You know, when you see somebody else that's not the same as you, you might you know, think that it's not right.
And just going on from that, I think, you know, do you think is that a fear thing, or you know, what do you think they're scared of in terms of?
I don't know. It's just something different. You know, when you're young and you're a kid, you're just trying to be the same as everyone else, aren't you? So maybe when someone's a bit different, it's something that they, you know, think, oh no, we don't like that. It's a bit different, but it's hard to put your finger on it. It's such a people's opinions, isn't it? Really, it's hard to say why.
Would you encourage people to get on with people from other?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I had a great childhood. You know, I've got, like I said, I've got friends from different backgrounds, and it makes you a bit more wise to the world. You know, I know things about like I could go to my friends who's an Asian, and you know he's got different traditions and stuff like that. And I've got white friends, and even my family that are black and stuff like that. So it's you know, you learn a bit about every different people's culture, and it makes you a better person, I think.
Brilliant. Do you watch the Olympics?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think people like Mo Farah's obviously he's got a refugee background,
yeah,
asylum seeker, and then he's also Muslim. Do you think his well, you know, obviously what he did in terms of the Olympic goals, I think that could break down race?
Yeah, definitely. You know, like you said, you know, he's Muslim. He's come from a different country, but he was there representing Great Britain, which is, you know, he's won his gold medals. He did brilliant, and everyone should be looking up to him as like an idol, thinking, yeah, this is the type of person that we want to represent our country, to, you know, fly the flag. And it doesn't matter what his background is. You know, he's a good person doing good things.
There's some people who are racist and proud of the British Nationalist Party and British Defence League, people like that. What do you think?
I don't know. It's hard to put your mind, like me. I'm not racist against anyone. So for me to even comprehend being like saying, oh, I don't want to speak to anyone that's not same colour as me, it's just I can't get it into my head. So I don't know what would make someone that extreme. It's a bit crazy if you ask me.
One of the things that you mentioned before is like the role of the media. Do you think they play a role in promoting this?
Yeah, well, it's hard to say promoting racism, but you know they make it a lot harder for like a lot of Muslims get victimised because everyone thinks Muslims are terrorists, which is definitely not the case. But yeah, they do make it seem so. So it's not. Sometimes they've got to be a bit careful of what they put in the press and how they say things.